Shameless.
Well, here's the thing.
Maybe. Sometimes.
Tell me about this. I want to know more.
Oh, yeah. No.
Holy cow.
We've had a lot of fun.
So I don't know if you remember or not, but a couple of years ago, my dog had skin cancer.
Aw.
And so kind of odd, but we live in Southern California, so kind of not surprising either. You know,
Yeah.
she's short-haired dog and had this little spot on her leg.
Aw.
So we took her in and they had it removed. So anyway, that was kind of our little scare with her. But then,
Yeah.
like 2 weeks ago, we noticed that she has this other growth on her cheek, on her right cheek.
Oh.
And it was like, it didn't look like what she had had before, but it was growing so fast. It's like it popped up overnight.
Ooh.
And we're like, what is this? So, you know, I mean, we treat our dogs like family here in this house. So
Yeah.
we were all kind of a little concerned, and I'm thinking, okay, well, maybe it's just, you know, some kind of odd growth. She's getting older, but then she's had the skin cancer, so maybe I should take her
Yeah.
in because who knows? And so it just was, it's just growing. It's crazy. Like, honestly, it's
Wow.
starting to bleed a little. So I took her in. Long story short, she has cancer again.
Oh no.
Aw.
And
Poor baby.
yeah, so this is a different type. But the good news is that if they cut it out, it should not ever be a problem again.
Aw.
Good.
All for the
But-
measly cost of $1,000.
Yeah, I was going to ask, how much does the just cut it out
But-
involve?
Yes, but you know, you're dog lovers, so you can understand.
I'm not that much of a dog lover. No, I mean, I'm a dog lover, but this is why my dog has a variety of lumps under her skin. And every time we go to the vet kind of feels them and points them out, does not feel that it's urgent to check. And I'm like, if I check and it's something bad, then it's going to cost a lot of money and I'm going to have to make a decision. So let's just monitor them for a little while
Right.
longer, shall we? So when you pet the dog, it's like people who pet her always go, oh, there's a lump here. And I'm like, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's
Move
fine.
along.
It's fine.
yeah,
The vet
Yeah.
knows all about it. It's fine.
yeah. No, and she has that too. She's got quite a few in her body. Our other dog did as well. So those were,
Yeah.
you know, I just was kind of feeling around, and it just felt nothing like this. It was kind of ulcerating on the top, and it was just growing. It just seemed like
Yeah.
overnight it would
Yeah.
double in size. So we
You
kind
got to
of
do
knew
something
that.
about those.
Oh, this isn't good. But yeah, I know. So now I'm gonna have to like put this on my credit card and
Oh, man.
pay off her surgery for this
Wow.
lump on her cheek. But you know, things we do.
Yeah.
Right.
Our first dog that we had as a family had cancer, and it was, I can't remember what part of her body it was at, but when they started going over the extremely expensive procedures and how debilitating it would be for her, and this was a dog who loved taking walks, who loved running around outside, and it was like, you know, this doesn't
Yeah.
sound like a good deal for anybody.
Yeah.
So we went like the holistic route. We found a holistic veterinarian who gave us raw food and did all this stuff. And it's like it appeased our guilt for not having done the other thing.
Yeah.
And she lived a decent amount of time. I mean, towards the end, she was drooling on everything and sort of unsightly. But, you know, seemed like a middle ground between,
Yeah.
you know, surgery and chemotherapy and whatever all they do, and her having any sort of decent life. So, you know, and us having money in our bank account.
Yeah.
So,
Well,
Yeah.
so you don't
right?
want
I
that
mean,
to be part of the equation. And yet, with pets, they're
Oh, I
important. We
know. spend
spend money on them. We spend time on them. But at some point, I think you have to say, maybe
Yeah.
not.
Well,
Ugh.
when she started to, you know, the $1,000, I thought, okay, well, like I said, I'll put
Yeah,
it on the credit
you can
card, I'll
justify
pay it
that.
off. But
Yeah.
once she started talking on vet oncologist and radiation treatments, that's when I started to think twice about my beloved dog's
It's
little
terrible.
tumor.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I mean, they're part of the family, and
Yeah.
our kids adore her. So I
It's
feel
hard.
like, and the way the vet described it, if we didn't treat it, the way it would grow and how it would affect
Yeah.
her life, that in itself was enough
Yeah.
to make me say, okay, we got to deal with it. So anyway, there will be a happy ending. She'll have her surgery on Monday, but it's just one of those unexpected
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
expenses that come up
Yes.
as a parent.
Yeah, we are having a similar situation with the member of our family that is our 3 ailing elderly cars, who every month one of them seems to need
Something.
an expensive procedure. And it's like, we don't want to send any of them out to the farm, but at the same time, really,
Yeah.
again, you need this. Perhaps it's time to, take Skippy out to the barn and Grandpa's gonna take him, honey. It's okay.
Grandma's going for a drive.
That's right.
Aw.
Oh dear.
So anyway, yes. I mean, parenting isn't just about parenting kids, right?
That's right. And but and also there's repercussions with your kids for any of this stuff. You know, making a decision about the dog and the dog's continuing life and health. And in our house, also making a decision about the car. My daughter's attached to the car she learned to drive on. When the time comes when that car has to go to the farm, it's going to be traumatic. So, and of course, the person who has to make these decisions mostly is us, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, well, we're going to get more
Anyway.
into that field of moms having to make decisions and feeling guilty and do the thing and go to the vet with the dog because nobody else wants to. But right now, we're going to say hello and welcome to Parenting Roundabout, a weekly podcast about the things that parents are talking about, obsessing about, and complaining about right now. All sorts of cheerful things like dog cancer. That's what you come to us for. Welcome to our cheerful podcast. I am Terri. That's what we lead with, y'all. Is we lead with dog cancer.
But there was I'm sharing the, we all go through this stuff,
It's
right?
real life,
It is.
It's real life.
We're not sugarcoating anything on this podcast.
I'm Terri Morrow, and with me today for our happy talk are Catherine Haleko
Hello.
and Nicole Eridix.
Hi there.
Today on the podcast, we're going to talk about Parental Martyrdom on our Friday speed round. We're going to shout out some stuff we like on the Roundabout Roundup, and we're going to do some shameless self-promotion. But first, it's supposed to be a good thing when kids get more independent, right? Catherine, are we supposed to be happy about this, or is it supposed to throw us into an existential crisis?
Yeah, this is what I'm struggling with right now. At this point in the summer, both kids have activities, like it's just sort of reaching a peak right now where one has something for 2 hours in the morning. One has something for 2.5 hours in the afternoon. Sometimes one of them has something in between those two things. Sometimes one has something after it. And it's like, my kids never actually went to preschool for this exact reason. Like, 2 hours is a dumb amount of time for anything. Like,
I'm sorry, we know preschool would be enriching for you, honey, but 2 hours is a dumb amount of time.
right. This
Just
is
doesn't work for me.
This is why they went to full day childcare instead of preschool. And my son to this day is like, why didn't you send me to preschool? This is why I'm not smart. I'm like, first of
See,
all,
this is where special needs parents can gloat because a bus comes and takes your tiny child to preschool.
and it's, I mean, trust me, it was a child care center that had a preschool curriculum. Like, he did go to preschool. He went to preschool all day. Anyway, but, so I'm sitting here like, okay, I got to take the kid here and take the kid there and take the kid here. And meanwhile, my daughter is starting to learn how to drive. She's in driver's ed classes now, just the classroom part. And so I know that, like, the end is near where she'll be able to drive herself. And that'll be great, except for the part where it's scary that she'll be driving herself.
No, it's not.
Yes.
It'll be scary for a day.
Only a day, huh?
I don't know. I still find it scary. The other day, I used my trick that you taught me, Nicole, to follow my daughter on her, the message app on the phone, and it said location not available.
Uh-oh.
For some reason, it couldn't pick her up, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, there's been an accident. There's been." Oh my gosh, did you just hear that thunder?
Was that thunder?
Yeah, that's
Yes.
crazy.
I thought it was a chair moving for a second. Let it die down, and I'll continue.
Wow.
Oh my gosh, there's been an accident. There's been a fire. The phone has been destroyed. Ah! And it turned out, for some reason, I guess there was no Wi-Fi where she was or something.
Yeah.
It just wasn't picking up, but I immediately panicked.
Right.
And I worry all the time. But then, that's me. Do not. You'll probably be fine, Catherine.
I mean, I got over the fear of letting other teenagers drive her because obviously it's way more convenient for me if she can get a ride. So I'm assuming it'll sort of be like
It'll
that.
wear.
Yeah.
You'll get used to it.
But, and it's other things too. Like, my son is terrible about getting his own breakfast in the morning. Like, he just, he would prefer that someone serve it to him while he does
Sure.
other things. Of course he would.
Of course.
And, I don't like having to give it to him, but at the same time, if I give it to him, then I know I'm giving him what I want him to eat instead of what he would pick for himself. And I'm making sure he actually does eat something because I don't want him to go to school without eating. He's going to be crabby and horrible, and that's not good either. But I know he needs to, man up and make his own breakfast. But it's like this with independence. There's like a pro and a con for everything that they are learning how to do, I feel like. Do you guys feel the same way, or is it all about me, relinquishing control, as seems to be a theme of this podcast? Nicole, you're saying that I'll get over the driving thing quickly.
Yeah. It'll take, it may take me more than a day, but it won't take long. Yes, I still worry about her being on the road, but as time goes by, I'm feeling a little bit more confident, and man, the pros just outweigh the cons in this situation. It's so nice having her be able to drive, but
Yeah.
And how about having your son gone now, like not living at home anymore? Because I remember when that first happened, it was really hard for you, and you said, Amanda, why didn't you tell me this was going to be so hard? I mean, that's a big step, obviously.
yeah, it is, and it just doesn't end because if it's not one thing, it's something else. So he left, he went away to school. It took me a good couple of months to realize that, he had moved out. He wasn't living at home right now. And then the next step was he had moved into an apartment and was living off campus and living there year round. So, gotta accept that. That's happening. But it just seems to be, one thing after another. So now, most recently, in most recent events, his girlfriend's car got stolen last night.
Oh, no.
Yeah. So, we're helping them work through that. So even though there is this independence, they still rely on us. They're still we're still kind of a crutch, which is a good thing. I mean, I'm certainly not begrudging that at all. And in fact, I'm happy that they're coming to us for help. But independence is really not the right word for what they do as they grow up.
Yeah.
I don't think it's that at all.
Yeah. I don't really see my kids. They don't want to be independent, and they don't seem to be making any moves toward it. I try to push them to be as independent as possible, but at the same time, I want them to do things my way.
Right.
So
This
I
is
certainly
my
get the feeling.
problem.
But see, this is what we want ideally: completely independently, on their own, they make the exact decisions we would want them to make.
Right.
How do we work that out? I try by tutoring and, nagging and ingraining in them, and yet it didn't work for my mom when she tried it with me, not working for me. So it's like if I force them to be independent, things don't turn out the way I want. And if I don't let them be independent, I know that that's wrong. So it is a little bit of a crisis.
Yeah. Yeah, it's
Can you
not.
guys hear like the hail that is hitting my window right now?
Yes.
It's crazy. Yes.
I wonder if there's some way I can like block the mic from picking it up.
Well,
I might have
or
to
it's
just
part of our podcast.
Yeah, I guess it's just part of the podcast. Maybe I can filter it out. I'll pull over as far as I can from the window. It's ridiculous. It's like it really sounds like there's hail hitting here.
Yeah.
All right. The topic moves to your children being independent in a world in which hail is hitting your window. Children and weather on the next Parenting
Well,
Roundabout
it's just,
podcast.
it's the whole theme of unpredictability in parenting.
There you go. There you go.
You just never know what's around the corner.
Yeah.
So, so tonight we're going to be sitting down and having the whole, okay, now, what, are you going to buy a new car? Are you going to see if your car will be, if it'll get recovered? Who knows?
They've had rough luck with cars, right? Because he totaled his car not that long ago.
I know. Can you believe it?
This is what
Plus,
happens when you let them be independent.
Seriously. Plus,
Car trouble.
this is the second time she's had her car stolen.
Oh, my.
And
Does she,
then-
leave it with the windows open and the keys in?
No, it's crazy. She locks it up. She doesn't have anything out on the seat, and yet
Wow.
it's been had its windows smashed. It's been,
Oh, my
it's been
goodness.
stolen twice. I don't know.
Does she have
what's
nice
going on with it.
cars? Does she, have nice new
it's
cars?
an old, I think it's a 1998 Honda Civic or something along
She
those
just has
lines.
bad car karma.
Yeah, major bad karma. So
She was a car thief in another life.
yeah, so these kids, I'm telling you, independent. I don't think I would call it that.
Yeah. I think about it a lot, though, because it's like I want that for my kids. I like to think that one day they will have families of their own or they will move out, but I know when that happens, I will not be comfortable with it, but I kind of hate to think of it never happening, which seems kind of like a possibility. So, which means I don't have my independence.
Right.
Right.
It puts a limit, but
But it's
especially with
it's
kids with
different
special
stages.
needs.
Different stages
Yeah.
of independence. I mean, your daughter drives and she has a job.
That's
and
true. She drives except when it's
Except when-
thunder and hail.
when the
She's like,
the
Dad, will you
weather."
drive me to work? So, and I feel better knowing he's driving her to work. So I am an enabler, clearly. It's like independence, but only when I'm comfortable. My son has this job working at the big football stadium by us. And, basically we send him in there and 6, 8, 10 hours later we come pick him up. So that's to some degree, I mean, he's working and so he has a boss. He's not completely independent, but it's like the most unsupervised by me or a
anyone.
minion of mine.
Right.
Somebody who reports to me that
minion.
he has. And I still, every time we drop him off, I'm like, I can't believe we're doing this. He's not ready for this. Why am I letting him do this?
And yet he's been
Something
doing
bad
it
is going to happen.
successfully.
This is his
for
third summer.
Yeah.
And he always comes out at the end intact, as far as I can tell.
right.
So, it's good and I know it's necessary, but, it's just, you're kind of darned if you do and darned if you don't, because if they're not independent, I'm worrying that they're not independent. And then when they're independent, it's like, oh my gosh, what are they doing? I need to know what they're doing every second.
Right. Exactly.
And like food, as you're talking about, my daughter now, she's always been really good with those life skill type things. Mm-hmm. She's made her breakfast for a long time. She makes her lunch. And my husband and the kids go out shopping every week, and she buys herself frozen stuff for her lunches. And the stuff she gets, I want to say, that's too fattening. That's not nutritious. Mm-hmm. That's bad for you. It's got so much salt. But, she needs to be independent to buy her own lunch. I'm glad she's making her own lunch. I bite my tongue so hard.
I know, right?
Yeah.
It's very hard.
Did we lose Nicole?
Nicole. Uh-oh.
I just see the pumpkin baby up on my screen.
Oh. Boy, oh boy.
I should just leave all this stuff in. This is what we go through to bring these podcasts to you people.
Her name is on my screen, but her picture
Endless
is not.
Technical difficulties.
All right,
and
should
she's
I-
not responding to us.
All right, I'll try adding her back to the call. Oh, there she is, Nicole.
Okay. Hey, you're
Hi
back.
there. Yeah.
You went away.
We lost you.
My phone or my computer died.
Oh, of course.
But I'm still recording, so keep going.
That's wrong. Okay, good. We're pushing through. Hi.
Yeah, we're just.
So, in answer to your question, is it all about giving up control? Yes, that is what it is about
Okay.
for us, for me.
As long as I know that, I guess I'll have to find a way to live with it.
Your kids are still so young too. You have so much fun ahead of you.
I know.
College is coming up,
Yeah, just wait. Ooh.
I'm looking.
and the boarding school that your daughter wanted to go
Oh
to.
yeah,
right?
that's not happening. Although 2 of her friends are probably gonna go.
Are they really?
Yep.
That's
Really?
expensive independence, man.
Yeah. Well, they're getting financial aid that our kid is not
Yeah.
either eligible for or being offered. So yeah,
Oh,
she's not going.
Wow.
man.
That kind of falls in line with our next topic in terms of being
Right?
a martyr
Being a
for our
martyr.
kids.
Exactly.
Do we go into debt for them so they can go to boarding school? I mean, how much of a martyr are we, or are you as a parent? For example, like last week, Catherine, didn't you have to go see the Emoji Movie?
I did. You can
That
you
is
can
above
hear
and beyond, babe.
you can hear all about it on our round 2 from this week. I went and saw the Emoji Movie. I mean, I feel like the martyrdom happens all the time, though, and it's usually small. I mean, it's things like, well, I was gonna go take a walk right now, but you need me to drive you to your friend's house right this second. Or, I was about to take a shower, but somebody needs me to take them here or there or whatever. Or it's when you're, there's one more piece of pizza left and you would really like that piece of pizza. But do you eat it? No.
Yeah.
So, or maybe you guys are stronger and tougher than I am.
No.
My mom used to call it broken cookie syndrome, that mom always got the broken cookies and cleaned those up, and so that everybody else could have a nice pretty cookie. And I've now
isn't that
come to
true?
realize that means mom gets more cookies.
Yeah,
But
they
it
taste the
sounds like
same.
martyrdom. And you can, sort of accidentally drop the box before you open.
Oh,
no.
jeez, these are broken.
So there's 2 sides.
So what you're saying is we can also take advantage of this martyrdom
Yes.
syndrome that we have. So, okay, well, I'll drive you to your friends right now, but you need to do the dishes for me when you get home.
Well, that's okay. You guys go out and have fun. I'll just stay home and read and watch TV and do all sorts of things I don't want you to know I do. That's okay. That's sort of my martyrdom. Mom's always home working. You guys
Oh,
just
no.
go. And then, I play games while they're gone. So nobody will catch me.
No.
Would I do that? No, certainly I would not.
Never.
No, I think there's a high level of martyrdom.
No, my husband's martyring himself right now by driving the kid in the rain.
That's
So
right.
he's got his martyrdom points.
For today.
I was thinking of tying into our opening discussion, being the one who takes the dog to the vet for the last visit. I did that. That was my martyrdom with one dog. But then my husband went and did it with the second dog, so we're even.
We did it together.
Yeah, did you? No. First dog, nobody would go with me. Everybody was too sad.
The kids didn't go, but we...
Well, I made my daughter go with the second one. And that was probably a mistake.
Well,
But
I don't know. I mean, maybe sometimes they need to see that, right? Or
I guess, yeah.
it's like
Yeah.
a closure thing. I don't know.
Yeah. That was my thought.
Right.
But it's like, I'm not going to do it again. You go do it.
Oh.
But yeah, I mean, certainly going to see the movie you don't want to see is a big martyrdom thing. Or watching the TV show you don't want to watch. or in my case, quite often, reading the book that the child has to read that you really, really don't want to read. I got an emergency alert coming on my phone now. That's what that buzzing is. Flash flood warning. Anyway, the entire middle school agony canon of, books that are supposed to be speaking, what's the, Speak, I think, is that one? Where the girl is...
Oh, yeah. She can't talk.
I think I
They're all
remember that.
speaking meaningfully to the early adolescent experience and the hellhole of school bullying and misunderstanding parents. And okay, that may be meaningful to those kids, but it is agony for parents to read this because we understand what's going on before the kids understand it, and the parents are always completely clueless and part of the problem. So I never want to read any of those books at all, much less slowly, so that my kids will understand them and then explain to them, do you understand what happened to her, honey? Let me explain to you. That was martyrdom. That was major
the
martyrdom.
Horrible thing.
Yeah, because, there's no way she could have read through it herself or understood it.
I will say there's one martyr thing that I will not do is play a board game that I can't stand. Like the game of
No
life.
Candyland in your house?
They're too old for Candyland, but sometimes the other day my son was like, I said, let's play a game. Okay. He said, how about Game of Life? No. I was like, nope, that's not on the list. I hate that game.
Yeah.
And it took us a while. We finally landed on Battleship, and I was willing to play Battleship.
Yeah.
But then my husband told him how he used to cheat by stacking up all of his ships into one pile. And so you'd never get a hit because there's only 4 spots on the board.
Yeah. So now you make your husband play with Yeah, my son likes playing Uno, and he has his own rules that are expansive and ever-changing. So I would always play with him his way, because nobody else wanted to play with him his way. And finally, I started making up excuses not to play, so now he's stopped asking me, and I feel really bad, and I'll say, come on, can I play Uno with you? No, it's okay. He plays with himself. So just endless games. He's sitting there playing. So he's the martyr. Yes, he's usurped my martyr role, and I'm actually kind of grateful, but still, it's like, I do feel I lost mom points.
You're a mother.
Definitely, I dinged myself some mom points with that. I should have just kept playing with him. Endless games. But
it's hard to play Uno with 2 people. But maybe that's where rules came in.
Rules came in.
Right.
It's a completely different game when you play one-on-one with him. He has many, many interesting rules. But, and it requires having 2 or 3 decks to play with at a time.
Oh my.
So, yes.
Wow.
Yes.
Sounds like
sometimes
it would take
gets
a long
quite
time.
impossible to hold. Well, yes, it does, doesn't it? And that is not a wrong assumption, which is part of the reason why I suddenly became too busy, but now feel bad. But that is a good one, yes. Definitely playing board games with a child. Endless, awful, mentally unstimulating board games. What are some martyrdoms that you've done, Nicole? I bet you've got some good ones.
Well, I don't know if this comes from being a teacher, and it sounds so terrible because I know that most parents would jump at the chance to do this, but I refuse to go on field trips with my kids. Far too many bad field trips with my classes, and I feel so bad because I just couldn't do the ones with my kids. And I don't know what it was, but the day-long trip to the aquarium, or just the thought of supervising a group of kids that weren't mine, and the agony of sitting on the bus. And it pales in comparison to what you do, Catherine, with your daughter, but
Those are
I couldn't
coach
bring
buses though.
myself to
When
do
I
it.
go on those like 8-9 hour bus rides, they're at least a coach bus. They're not a school bus.
Okay.
That's true. That makes a difference.
So there were a lot of field trips I dipped out of. But mind you, I volunteered in the classroom and I was around. I could not bring myself.
That was a level of martyrdom you could not attain.
That's right.
I could not.
You're
I just
gonna lose
couldn't
that
do it. And my friends just thought I was like the worst person in the world. But I was like, I'm sorry, I can't. I've just had too many bad field trip experiences.
Yeah. Field trip PTSD.
That's right.
Exactly. So that was
Yeah.
That was a big one.
I can see how field trips could be martyrdom opportunities, but for me, they were always part of the control and independence equation. To get back to our first topic, is that I like to have my eye on everything. So if they will let me go on the bus and be with the school class for a whole day and I can watch everybody and I can size all the kids up and I can see which teacher loses her patience earlier, that is gold for me. I will be very happy that you don't want to go, Nicole, because it gives me a spot. Mrs. Morrow wants to go every time.
So actually, I did other parents a favor. So
That's right.
Absolutely.
Perfect.
All those control freak moms
Awesome.
were very, very happy to step into your shoes.
Well, okay, so now I'm not feeling so bad about it.
Yes.
Yeah,
Just, when you were a teacher, the moms you didn't want to come along, you have empowered those moms. So you can feel bad for the teacher. She's coming again.
Oh, it's her again. No, just the agony of it. Just thinking about it. I must have PTSD from it. Seriously.
That's right.
So do we count as martyrdom having to share a foodstuff that we are fond of?
Yes.
Do we ever, hide certain things where we think the children will not find them?
Yes.
Even though they're
Gee, that
technically
doesn't happen
family
in my
property?
house.
I'm wondering about those ketchup chips. Do you share the shipments of ketchup chips with the kids, Nicole, or do they go into a closet?
I flat out don't. I
The
hide
vibe
my.
I'm getting here, Nicole, is not a lot of martyrdom from you. I think you are emotionally healthy and refusing.
No. I martyr in many other areas. I do not give up my Canadian food, though.
I'll
So
bet.
that goes into hiding. They may get a little snippet of it. They may get a little,
Just
if
a
I'm feeling
taste.
extra generous. They might get a little taste, but no, for the most part, those ketchup chips are mine. No one's going near them. So, yeah.
I feel very bad not sharing things, but sometimes it's like, mine!
Right.
Mine.
I think that's legit. Gotta say.
Yeah.
If you take a bite of something and then it will be contaminated with your cooties and then nobody else wants it.
See,
That works in my house
my
sometimes.
son would not care at all. He'd just eat it anyway.
That's true.
He's only-
Neither would mine.
Yeah,
My daughter would be horrified, but my son would be,
it's pre-loved.
But is it really martyrdom, though, when, you spend the jillions of hours doing all the other things for your kids and you just take this little piece for yourself? Is that really, is that
really
I
silly.
think
such
it's
a bad thing?
legit.
it depends on who you ask, I guess.
I mean, all the hours of sitting in the vehicle, driving back and forth, waiting for them to finish their lessons, waiting for that, waiting for this.
That's true.
I'm going to take my little bag of ketchup chips and hide them. They're just for me.
Nice.
This is my reward.
Seems only fair.
Exactly.
Yeah. I did a lot of sitting around places waiting for kids, but oftentimes I felt like that was the only me time I got all day. My kid is with somebody else and I can read a book or listen to a podcast or work or just, not
Right.
be on for a little
Right.
while. So I have trouble thinking of that as martyrdom, though you could certainly spin them that way.
Right.
It's a lot of time. And like you, Catherine, I will just go sit at the place for the 2 hours. I will sit in my car with my laptop for the 2 hours and wait it out rather than drive back and forth.
Yeah.
Well, I guess we all have our own various criteria for what martyrdom entails.
But when we want to make our kids feel guilty, now or in the future, we will spin
we
these
have
things
some examples.
Exactly.
in the right direction. Yes, we can go for it.
That's right.
Well, is it time to move on now to our parenting
Yes,
roundabout
yes. Why don't you
roundup?
take us out of our speed round and I'll take us into our roundup.
And so moving on. But remember, you can hear a new speed round every Monday through Thursday.
And now we bring you some of the things that we've read or seen or used recently that we want to shout out and share with you. Catherine, what do you have for the Roundabout Roundup this week?
I'm going to mention a book that I didn't get a chance to mention on round 2, where this probably rightfully belongs, but recently read the book Lab Girl by Hope. Now, I don't know if it's Jahren or Jahren. Jahren is the author's last name.
Okay.
And she is a scientist. She's a geobiologist. So, like a lot of study of soil and plants. And she is a great writer. And this book is both, there's a chapter or a section about something to do with plants or seeds or dirt or whatever. And then she takes that and relates it to her life story. And it's a memoir.
Oh, cool.
Oh,
And
wow.
it's just really interesting and really well done. And I like
That's
it a lot.
interesting.
Lab Girl.
Okay. Nicole, what do you have to share this week?
Well, I just discovered, and I think it's a brand new app too, actually, but I don't know if either of you follow the Tasty videos.
Who has a choice? Anytime I go through Facebook, there's 500 of them, and they're compelling, and I have to sit and watch
I
the
know.
delicious food stuff being made.
Isn't that amazing? Well, they have an app now, and I love it because it's all visual, and I can see what it looks like in the end and the whole process, because I hate reading recipes.
Is that what people are sharing it from? Do you share it onto Facebook from the app?
No, because I believe the
it's
app
just-
is new.
If you want to drown yourself in endless videos of
Oh, it's
delicious
amazing.
food coming together.
And their search tools, I mean, the way you can search for food, oh, it's amazing. I love it. So that's my
make it
new
look so easy,
favorite.
though.
But you know what?
And yet, yeah.
It works. I mean,
Does it? Have you
for
tried
people
some of
like
them?
me, I have actually tried 2 new recipes in the last week.
Really?
And you know me, I don't cook.
And does it work without being sped up in between, or is it like take 5 hours? It's like zip, 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 done!
Yeah. I mean, the timing, but for me, it's not about the timing. It's about the amount of ingredients and what you have
That's
to
true.
do to those ingredients.
That's true.
If I have to chop, saute, fry, broil, all in one recipe, forget it.
I am with you, sister.
Throw it in one pan and I want to be done with it. So, and that's what most of these videos are. These recipes are. I
Excellent.
love it. So
Well,
check
that
it
sounds
out,
like
the Tasty
a-
app.
Really good thing to do when you're sitting in the car waiting for your kid to come out.
Exactly.
Excellent. My recommendation this week, it's just a very small thing, but it's something that made my life a little bit easier, and I want to encourage it for every other store to do this. We've been with my bathroom repair, which is still not started yet, which is why you're hearing hail outside my window, but not tile scraping in my bathroom. We've been going to Home Depot a lot, the Home Depot website, and looking for things and trying to figure out what we want to get. And a lot of times, you can find something online and then you can go look at it in the store to see what it actually looks like. And Home Depot has a thing that if you find something online and it's available in your store, you can hit a link and it will text you the location of that thing in the store along with a little picture of it.
No way.
It is so awesome. So it'll
That's
say,
cool.
that's in aisle 30, lot 13, and it'll have a little picture of it. So you go, and we went to aisle 30, lot 13, and son of a gun, it was right there.
Wow.
And I had the picture so I
Nice.
could make sure it was the same thing. And we had gone to this Home Depot and asked the guy walking by, do you have bathroom vanities that are this size? And he went into a 5-minute tirade of, no, nobody makes in that size. That's too small. This is the size. This is the size you need. And yet, found one online, got the location, went there, and there it was. It was like magic.
Then
It
did
was
you
so
go
awesome.
find the guy?
I would have, if he had walked by, I would have said, look,
Here it is.
it's a small vanity. everybody has a big bathroom. So it was wonderful. And Lowe's does not have this yet. I had to like actually write it down. Mm-hmm. But Home Depot texted it to me with a picture. Awesome. Everybody should do this. Grocery stores, I want to be able to just go to your website and you tell me where everything is. I don't have to. I hate asking salespeople in any kind of store where stuff is. I just spend 45 minutes looking around for the thing I want. Mm-hmm. This would be magic. Clothing stores, can you imagine? Mm-hmm. You know, go to the Old Navy app. Text me where that item is. Walk into the store, get the item, go. Yes. It would be wonderful.
Nice.
So, yay, Home Depot.
Yay.
You go.
Very good.
Yes. I'm sad that I hardly ever shop there, except when I'm remodeling parts of my house. But, well, that is the end of our listing of things that other people have done that we like. And now we get into the things that we have done that we think that you should like.
That's right.
Catherine, what are you shamelessly self-promoting this week?
I am promoting a piece I wrote at highlights.com about safety. Speaking of independence, this totally ties in. It's about... there was some research done that kids, sort of the age I've always heard for when kids can be trusted to cross the street is 10. Uh-huh. And these people did research and found that it's actually 14 that a kid can be trusted to cross a busy street by themselves. Now, you know, if there's stoplights and crosswalks and all that stuff, then they're probably going to be fine. But anyway, this was kind of interesting. So I did a piece about how to teach your kid safety when they're walking, biking, scootering, all that stuff. So that's at highlights.
I don't know. As somebody who drives in New Jersey, I think that there's people in their 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, and 60s who also cannot safely cross the street.
Yeah, this is true. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Try picking up somebody after a concert. You will see people walking directly into traffic and while talking on their cell phones.
And just assuming that you're going to stop. Yes. Mm-hmm. Yes. So, anyway, so what do you have, Nicole?
Well, I'm going to mention an article that's on my website that is relevant to this time of year for parents who have children with disabilities and special needs and are going back to school if their child is transitioning to a new teacher or new school. Mm-hmm. They might want to check out this article. It's 10 things that your child's teacher needs to know about your child with disabilities. So about their needs and what their, some of the information that your child's teacher should know before school starts.
Good.
Will save you a lot of time and agony.
And I'm sure teachers love to see that information. Right?
Yes.
Or do they say, it's one of those moms?
No. I'm like, give me a heads up. I want to know. Don't let me figure this out for myself and, come around. Like March, realize that you knew this all along.
I would like to believe that that's how they feel, and yet sometimes I have felt them giving me the stink eye. So perhaps I needed to look at your article and do
That's right.
in a more teacher-friendly way.
Yeah. No.
My friend the teacher said you would want this information. Here. Blame Nicole if it's wrong.
Yeah, no. That's give it to me. I want it. I want to know about it.
Excellent.
Yeah.
As it should be.
That is on my website.
And Terri, what do you have to share today?
Well, we have somehow come to the end of yet another month. So at the end of July, I gathered together, as I do every month, all the news items that I had put on the Facebook page for Friendship Circle and put them together in a post so you can review the whole month's worth of news and share it easily and catch up with things that you might have seen and never got around to reading or missed entirely. So we will have the link for that on the Friendship Circle blog. Check out the news from the month that is over.
Great. Well,
last chance.
I think that is it for this week's episode of Parenting Roundabout. We hope you enjoyed it and that you'll join us every week. You can listen to podcast episodes on parentingroundabout.com or download them from Apple Podcasts. Please subscribe so you get all of our podcasts and mini podcasts. You can also follow us on Twitter, where I am at Nicole Erdix. Terri is at Mamatude and Catherine is at C. Haleko. You can also follow the podcast on Twitter at Roundabout Chat And look for us on Facebook, Pinterest, Tumblr, YouTube, and Instagram too. Best of all, stop by our podcast page at parentingroundabout.com and read recaps, find links on all the stories we mentioned, and talk back in the comments. Thanks to John Warren for providing our in and out music, and I wish everyone a great week.